Today we will discuss some problems on Hilbert adjoint operator. Now the first problem is, let H1 and H2 be Hilbert spaces. Let T belongs to B of H1, H2, that is T is a bounded linear operator from H1 to H2. If A is contained in H1, B is contained in H2 such that T image of A is contained in B, then we have to prove that T star image of orthogonal complement of B is contained in orthogonal complement of A. That is, image of orthogonal complement of B under Hilbert adjoint operator T star of T is contained in orthogonal complement of A. Let us prove this result. Let X belongs to T star of orthogonal complement of B. Then there exists some element Y in orthogonal complement of B such that X is equal to T star of Y. And it is given that T image of A is contained in B. So we know that orthogonal complement of B is contained in orthogonal complement of T of A. And this implies that Y belongs to orthogonal complement of T of A, because Y belongs to orthogonal complement of A, so Y also belongs to orthogonal complement of T of A. That means Y is orthogonal to T of A. Set T of A. That means Y is orthogonal to every element of T of A. That is, inner product of Y and Z is 0 for every Z belongs to T of A. And since Z belongs to T of A, so Z is an element of the form T of A for A belongs to A. So we can write inner product of Y and T is equal to 0 for every T of A belongs to set T of A, where A belongs to set A. That is, inner product of Y and TA is equal to 0 for every A belongs to A. And this implies that inner product of T star of Y and A is equal to 0 for every A belongs to A. By definition of Hilbert adjoint operator, inner product of YTA is equal to inner product of T star YT. And so we have inner product of T star Y and A is equal to 0 for every A belongs to A. But T star Y is equal to X. And so we can write inner product of X and A is equal to 0 for every A belongs to A. And this implies that X is in orthogonal complement of A, as X is orthogonal to every element of A, so X belongs to orthogonal complement of A. X belongs to, we have taken X in T star of orthogonal complement of B, and we have shown that X belongs to orthogonal complement of A. Any element of T star of orthogonal complement of B is contained in orthogonal complement of A. So we can say that the set T star of orthogonal complement of B is contained in orthogonal complement of A. Now the next problem is, let H1 and H2 be Hilbert spaces. Let M be a closed subspace of space H1 and N be a closed subspace of space H2. And T belongs to B of H1, H2. That is, T is a bounded linear operator from H1 to H2. Then we have to prove that T image of M is contained in N if and only if T star image of orthogonal complement of N is contained in orthogonal complement of M. Let us prove this result. let T image of M is contained in N. Then by previous problem, T star image of orthogonal complement of N is contained in orthogonal complement of M. Conversely, let T star image of orthogonal complement of N is contained in orthogonal complement of M. Then by previous problem, T star of star, that is T double star, that is Hilbert adjoint operator of Hilbert adjoint operator of T image of orthogonal complement of M, that is double orthogonal complement of M, is contained in orthogonal complement of N, that is double orthogonal complement of N. But both M and N are closed subspaces of Hilbert spaces, H1 and H2 respectively, and so double orthogonal complement of M is equal to M and double orthogonal complement of N is equal to N. We have proved this result earlier. And also we know that T double star is equal to T, and so we have T image of M is contained in N. Now we have a note. We shall denote the collection of all self-adjoint operators on Hilbert space H by script S of H. Recall that a self-adjoint operator on Hilbert space H is a bounded linear operator on H which coincides with its Hilbert adjoint operator. So we can see that script S of H is equal to the collection of all bounded linear operators T on H such that T star is equal to T. And we have proved that null operator and identity operators are self-adjoint operators. So clearly, zero operator and identity operator are in S of H. Now we shall prove a problem. If T belongs to B of H, that is T is a bounded linear operator on H, then we have to prove that T star and T star T are self-adjoint. Then we have to prove that Hilbert adjoint operators of T star and T star T coincides with these operators. Let us prove this result. We find Hilbert adjoint operator of T star. So T star whole star, that is Hilbert adjoint operator of T star, is equal to T star of star, that is T double star into T star. But we know that T double star is nothing but T, so this is equal to T star. So we have shown that Hilbert adjoint operator of T star is equal to T star. That means T star belongs to script S of H. That is, it is a self-adjoint operator. And similarly, if we find Hilbert adjoint operator of T star T, that is T star T of whole star is equal to T star into T double star, and this is equal to T star into T, since T double star is nothing but T. And so we have shown that T star T is also a self-adjoint operator. That means this belongs to script S of H. Now we have a very important lemma. Let H be a complex Hilbert space and Q belongs to B of H, that is Q is a bounded linear operator on H. Then we have to prove that inner product of Qx and x is equal to 0 for every x in H if and only if Q is equal to 0. Let us prove the lemma that Q is equal to 0. Then we have to prove that inner product of Qx x is equal to 0 for every x in H. Since Q is equal to 0, so Q maps each element of H to 0. That means Qx is equal to 0 for every x in H. So for every x in H, inner product of Qx and x is equal to inner product of 0 and x, and this is equal to 0. Conversely, let inner product of Qx and x is equal to 0 for every x in H. For x, y in H and for any pair of complex numbers alpha, beta, we know that alpha x plus beta y belongs to H because H is a linear space. And so condition 1 is also satisfied for alpha x plus beta y. So we can have inner product of Q of alpha x plus beta y, alpha x plus beta y is equal to 0. And since Q is linear, because Q is a bounded linear operator, so using linearity of Q, so this implies that inner product of alpha Qx plus beta Qy and alpha x plus beta y is equal to 0. And since we know that inner product is linear in first argument and conjugate linear in second argument, so this implies that alpha into complex conjugate of alpha inner product of Qx and x plus alpha complex conjugate of beta inner product Qxy plus beta complex conjugate of alpha inner product Qyx plus beta complex conjugate into complex conjugate of beta inner product Qy is equal to 0. And this implies that mod of alpha whole square into inner product Qx and x plus alpha complex conjugate of beta inner product Qxy plus beta complex conjugate of alpha inner product Qyx plus mod of beta whole square into inner product Qy and y is equal to 0. And since we have assumed that inner product of Qx and x is equal to 0 for every x, so first and fourth terms are 0, and so we are left with two terms, alpha complex conjugate of beta into inner product of Qxy plus beta complex conjugate of alpha inner product of Qy x is equal to 0, where we are using first condition. Taking alpha is equal to beta is equal to 1 in equation 2, we get inner product of Qx and y plus inner product of Qyx is equal to 0. Mark it as third equation. And then taking alpha is equal to I and beta is equal to 1 in equation 2, then we get I times, because we have alpha to complex conjugate of beta first term. So here we have I times inner product of Qxy plus beta into complex conjugate of alpha. That means complex conjugate of I means minus I. So here we have minus I inner product Qy and x is equal to 0. That is inner product of Qxy minus inner product of Qyx is equal to 0, means cancelling I in the whole equation. So we get third and we have fourth equation. Adding third and fourth equations, then we get 2 times of inner product of Qxy is equal to 0 for every xy in H. But this implies that inner product of Qx and y is equal to 0 for every xy in H, and this implies that Qx is equal to 0 for every x in H, and this implies that Q is equal to 0 operator. Thank you.